I want to present a mini SWOT analysis for Bungoma County. It's mini because to do a comprehensive one might need some time. As a way of introduction, I want to say that SWOT stands for strengths S, weaknesses W, opportunities and threats T of an organization, and indeed even a person. Strengths are normally internal positive attributes that work towards achieving a set goal. Weaknesses are internal negative attributes that might hinder the achievement of a set goal. Opportunities are favorable conditions out there in the environment which an organization can tap to its benefit. And threats are the opposite of opportunities out there in the environment, negative obstacles that can hinder the progress or the achievement of a goal. Now, it's very important here to note that SWOT is compelling because it helps to uncover opportunities that can be taken advantage of. By understanding the weaknesses through SWOT, the threats that can generally get an organization unawares can be overseen and wiped up. And therefore, a SWOT analysis, when you are doing strategic planning, is an important exercise. SWOT is actually, therefore, a framework to identify and analyze both internal and external factors that can impact on the achievement of a goal or any given organization. When done individually, a SWOT analysis can be very subjective, and therefore it's advisable that SWOT analysis is done by a team, and therefore the brainstorming through teamwork normally helps to reduce the subjectivity. Mine will be subjective because I'm going to do it individually. In a SWOT analysis, strengths that you find should be maintained. They should be built upon, should be leveraged. The weaknesses need to be corrected. The opportunities need to be tapped. And the threats need to be minimized or even countered or simply managed. The strengths, as I said, those internal favorable conditions. So to get them, you ask questions like, what is the organization's good at? What does it do extraordinarily well? In which unique resources and which unique resources does it possess? The examples of strengths could include the positive image of the organization, probably because of the things it does well, and normally strengths are within the organization's control. The weaknesses are now the opposite of strength. They are internal. They are the negative attributes that will hinder the achievement of a given goal. And therefore, we ask questions like, what does the organization lack in terms of resources and capabilities? And in what way is it limited in reaching its objectives? Providing answers to those questions will help us identify the weaknesses, which may include, let's say, inadequate infrastructure, weak policies, or bad social image due to bad corporate culture. And therefore, again, like strengths, they are internal and they are controlled by the organization. Opportunities, which is the O in the SWOT analysis, again, are those favorable conditions out there in the environment that we can tap, the organization can tap and make use of. So we ask questions like, what factors are in the environment that present a unique chance for the organization? Examples could be, if there is a growing market if there's a growing demand for our products, that is a strength. But as an external element, the organization may not control it. It is only to tap them and use them favorably. And finally, the T in SWOT, which is the threat, is the opposite of opportunity, in that there are those negative aspects, attributes out there in the environment that might impact negatively, that might hinder the progress of, the achievement of our organizations. You know, we ask questions like, what factors in the environment make it difficult for us to reach our objectives? This might be social-cultural burdens, government restrictions, competition, and so on and so forth. Again, they are external to the organization. They cannot be controlled. We just cope with them. Now, a SWOT must be done or is done so that we can develop strategies. I have seen many development plans, many strategic plans, just come and list the elements of the SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. That is not analyzing. That's not doing SWOT. It will be just half the job. The job is done only when the SWOT elements are merged to generate implementable strategies. So, what are SWOT strategies? Well, a strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve an objective. SWOT analysis should generate 4 categories of strategies. The offensive ones, going on the offensive, adjusting or reorientation, correcting the wrong, defensive, defending yourself against the external negative aspect, and or the survival. Weaknesses are too many, threats are too many. How do we survive? Now, to generate these strategies, each of the SWOT element is combined with each of the other ones. Thus, a strength can meet an opportunity, but also meet a threat. And the same thing to a weakness. And therefore, we generate strategies by matching those elements. So, here we are. We generate a matrix by listing all the strengths that we need or we think we have. Remember, you are addressing a certain goal. Therefore, all the strengths related to achievement of that goal. Then you list all the weaknesses. You go on and list all the opportunities, as I've explained earlier, and then you list all the threats. Now, when you have listed all this, you are now in a position to match them. Like, when you match the strength and opportunities, we call them the SO or maxi strategies. We are matching the strengths and the opportunities to maximize the use of the strength, again, to get the maximum results from the opportunities, and hence maxi. Then we have the matching of the weaknesses with the opportunities, and we call this WO or minimax. The aim is to minimize the weaknesses, to use the external positive opportunities to minimize the weaknesses, or indeed convert those weaknesses into strength. Then we have the strengths and threats matching, the ST, or what we call max-mini. Here we want to use our strength to the maximum to cope with the threats, to minimize the threats. So we are matching strengths with the threats to minimize or even avoid those threats. And finally, we have what we call mini or WT strategies. Here we match the weaknesses and the threats, and we want to minimize both. So I now come to my subjective 6-element Bungoma County mini SWOT analysis. I'm going to mini because I've only subjectively chosen, elected, selected 6 elements. A full SWOT analysis can have many more elements than what I have selected here. I want to note here that my research showed me that the first Bungoma County Integrated Development Plan of 2013 to 2017, which is found at that link, mentioned the term SWOT in the acronyms page, but I struggled to get explicit SWOT analysis in that document. Now, the second Bungoma County Integrated Development Plan of 2018 to 2022, also found at that link, did not mention, or I didn't capture the word SWOT in the entire document, and there was also no explicit SWOT analysis. So in Bungoma, in planners, we do not think that SWOT analysis is important, and that's why I'm introducing a mini one. Maybe we can think about it again. According to our the Bungoma second county development plan, Bungoma has a motto, Bungoma County has a motto: our heritage, our wealth. It has a vision, a hub of diversity and a socioeconomic development. And importantly, it has a mission to harness all potentials of the county through inclusive participation and collective responsibility to generate wealth for sustainable socioeconomic development. And it is this mission that I want to address through my mini SWOT analysis. My mini SWOT analysis will be contributing toward that mission. So I'm therefore calling this talk WISA's Bungoma County Mini SWOT Analysis to support the developmental mission as set up in our strategic plan. So here I am. I have identified 6 strengths in Bungoma that can work towards the achievement of the said mission. 1, we have national government funding. We have intra-county comparative advantages. Every sub-county has an advantage, whether economic, social, environmental. They have, we have an advantage each. Number 3, we had very hard-working peasant farmers. I have interacted with them. I can attest to that. We have developed education institutions, particularly the ECDE and the polytechnics. We have a vibrant or fairly vibrant local business community. I'm even a member of the wall of the Chamber of Commerce, a very good strength of the county. We also have a large pool of labor force. But we have weaknesses. One major weakness I identified was weak infrastructure, physical infrastructure. We have low agricultural productivity. We have inadequate policies. We have inadequate ICT. It's there, but it's inadequate. We have a very weak entrepreneurial culture. Indeed, even the business culture. We don't have many businesses or business people within Bungoma. And of course, much as we have a large pool of labor force, a lot of it is unskilled. Then we have opportunities. Bungoma is filled with opportunities. We have the PPP, public-private people partnership opportunities. We have development partners. We have the diaspora, whether within Kenya, outside Bungoma, or abroad. Yes, I've interacted with them, and I can also claim I'm talking from Nairobi, and therefore I'm in diaspora, and this is an opportunity that the county can actually tap. We have mobile network. Social media, for example, is a lot, and it can be used. We have unexploited resources. Like if you look on my YouTube, you also see one of my coverage of unexploited resources within the county. And then we have diversified markets, whether within or outside the markets are getting diversified. Then the threat that I found is the changing weather patterns. That's a big threat to our agriculture. The high cost of living is a big threat. The consumption culture, the culture of consumption and not investment, is a big threat within Bungoma. Population has made land sizes dwindle. That is also a threat. We have rather rigid cultural practices. Quite a number of them are not progressive, and they retard development. And then, of course, the poverty and unemployment. And so, I am going to match the strengths and opportunities to generate offensive strategies. I use the internal strengths to propose the strategies to get maximum gain from the named external opportunities. I will also generate reorienting strategies, adjustment strategies, by using the named favorable external factors to propose strategies that can correct the weaknesses. I will also generate defensive strategies by using the strengths that we have to see how we can cope with the threats. And of course, the final one, survival strategies. How can we survive amidst these weaknesses and amidst these threats? So, let me talk of offensive, or what I call maxi strategies. Like a striker, an offensive, take the opportunity, get the opportunity, and then strike and score. I have already mentioned strengths and opportunities. Using national government funding, which is strength number 1, we can do comparative advantage studies, which is strength number 2, and appetite the hard-working farmers, which is strength number 3, to develop a one sub-county, one crop, what I'm calling a SOC policy, to produce for the diversified internal and external markets, which is opportunity number 6, and we can reach it via IT, which is opportunity number 4. For example, we can say oil crop be a specialty of Kimilili sub-county, horticulture be a specialty of Mount Elgon sub-county, orphaned crops be a specialization of the Bumula, and so on and so forth. If we can set up the OSOC policy, then we can benefit from it and from the large pool of labor force, which is strength number 6, and the developed education institutions like polytechnics, which is strength number 4, and the design value addition training to start micro and small value addition enterprises, such as vegetable oil producing or processing. We can design favorable policies to tap from the existing business community, which is strength number 5. Development partners, which is opportunity number 2. Under the diaspora, which is opportunity number 3. To develop public-private people partnership, which is opportunity number 1. To enhance value addition projects like animal feed processing and others. And finally, in the offensive, we can design favorable policies to encourage the exploitation of the unexploited resources, which is opportunity number 5, such as the making construction material from the Sirisia. Those stones in Sirisia are gold, so to speak. So those are some of the offensive strategies. How about the mini-maxi, the reorienting strategies? We have weaknesses and we have opportunities. I'm saying we can use national government funding, strength number 1, to design appropriate policies, which is weakness number 3, to attract PPPP, which is opportunity number 1, for the infrastructure development, which is weakness number 1, as well as agriculture productivity improvement, which is weakness number 2. Example, we can have a policy on water harvesting. We can mitigate the weather by harvesting and storing water. Number 2, we can design a county policy, which is weakness number 3, to promote ICT, which is weakness number 4, and motivate an entrepreneurial culture, which is weakness number 5, via formal, informal, and non-formal education and training, which is weakness number 6. Example, we can set up business incubation centers at county youth polytechnic centers. And then we go to the defensive, like that defender, maxi mini strategies. We already have our strengths and we have our threats. So we can use again national funding to establish and fund devolved institutions like polytechnics to design climate mitigating strategies and address the threat number 1, e.g. water harvesting techniques, promotion of resistant crops like orphaned crops. We can then benefit from the OSOC that I have proposed to develop investment reach to address threat number 3, employment creating, threat number 6, and income generating, threat number 2, value chain activities such as dehydrating, processing, packaging, transportation of horticultural crops. And finally, my survival or mini strategies. We have the weaknesses and we have the threats. I am saying, again, we have used national government funding to engage local, main, and social media to educate the populace on entrepreneurship culture, weakness number 5, adaptation and modernization of culture, threat number 5, intensive farming methods, threat number 4, and examples could be encouragement of youth and female entrepreneurship, joint circumcision ceremonies to reduce costs, zero grazing on dwindling land sizes, insect farming to generate incomes and address high cost of animal feeds, charcoal briquettes from the agro waste, and many others. What am I actually trying to drive at? That entrepreneurship seems to be the answer. If we can invest in entrepreneurship, then we can develop our county. I wrote this book, Bungoma, the Land of Opportunity. I distributed it. Even members of Chamber of Commerce, even the former governor and the MPs, I think it's lying somewhere, gathering dust. It is now due for a new edition. I'm not able to do that. That was Bungoma, Land of Opportunity. I have also done videos, which you go through this YouTube, you will get those links and many more, which is addressing opportunities within Bungoma County. I am convinced, I am persuaded that a good SWOT analysis will help us achieve our mission. Yes, we can elect not to do a SWOT analysis in strategic planning, but if we did it, it will only add value. It can never remove it. Thank you. I hope I have made some sense. Watch this space. I'll be coming more.